Hello? Where the fuck is my Foo Bar now playing list? I can't see it. It's supposed to be in the bottom left, but it's gone. Fuck! Wait a sec. Now playing .text. This fucking shit. There it is. It doesn't say anything. What the fuck? No. Yeah, so welcome to voiceover with Prims. Yay. How have I been? The more important question is, how have you been? And we have Surfy as well. How nice. I don't know how to answer that question, to be honest, but yeah, it's been difficult. I guess that's all I can say. It's been a wandering, uncertain, difficult time. But hey, I'm here. I have a bunch of projects for this year. God damn. The first one is my top 20 games as of this year. And then I have my new song, which I'm working on. And then I also have like a side music project at the same time. Like a full cover. So yeah, I've been keeping myself busy with some projects here and there. So that's nice. So not a lot of streaming at all. I haven't streamed for over 2 months. So I thought like, hey, why not just stream while recording this video? Because I don't think I've done that before. Like streaming when I record a scripted video. Okay, so what I want to fix first is the now playing thing. Oh, I remember now. I remember. You see, this is the thing when you haven't streamed for a while. You forget these small details which you did automatically before. So Foobar needs to be in administrator, or else it won't work. And then we need to fix the window. The fuck? I've missed you guys too. Okay, so apparently... Oh, look at that! Yax! Yax! I like that name. Very cool.
Yax can't escape.
Nope. It's impossible. Now, I don't understand why I can't change my fucking... My layout. Looks like shit. So where do we have it? Import theme. Music. Playlist. Oh, look at that! Another Ella fag. How nice. You're more than welcome. Let's see here. Foobar Asus Monitor 2. There, no, that's not it. It's not it. This one. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Perfect alignment. Very nice. Okay, so if I play a song now, it should appear text in the bottom left corner of the stream. Yeah, look at that shit. There it is. And then we can make it even bigger. Oh yeah, this is the music we're listening to. Perfect. No. Let's keep it like that. I don't give a shit. He doesn't? Now why the fuck does he have that emote? Did you like gift a sub or something? Oh, he's one of those. Oh, nice. Well, it doesn't matter where you come from. All the degenerates and gachibas and everyone... Gachifags, I mean. Everybody is welcome here. So I guess that's something. So, we're gonna go ahead and continue... Wait. We're gonna continue from where I left off. Which is... right here. These are the list. This is the list as of now. The numbering isn't fully set in stone, so I will just record each of these short descriptions of each game, and then once I make the video, I will make the final ranking, you know. So, for example, F-Zero GX might actually, you know, appear in front of Smash. So it's not entirely fixed yet, and the chat is definitely in the way, so let me fix that. Did you hear that? The chat is in the way, so get the fuck out! Åh jävlar, vi har en... Han är inte svensk. Han är fan inte svensk, bort med dig! Is he Norwegian? How nice. I don't know. Do I have an accent? I never think about it. Danish boy, how nice. What? You're an XQC boy as well? How nice. There we go. Man, you have a lot of channels that you sub to. Wonderful. Okay. This music has to get the fuck out of here. And then I'm gonna continue now. So, let's see. The last one I recorded was... let's see here. Videos. My videos. Top. I don't see any top. Where the fuck is my top 20? It's already gone. Are you serious? Where the fuck is my project? Here it is, top 20. It's in my video making folder. Well, that's fucking retarded. You're not supposed to be there. You're supposed to be in my videos. Paste that shit. Top 20. There we go. Now we're on track. So, the last one we recorded was 11 before I went down to eat. Yeah, man, same here. I've been watching a lot of AGDQ. It's pretty nice to have in the background. And yeah, that's like it. I haven't been on Twitch a lot at all. I mainly watch AGDQ right now, and then what is it? CFG1, the Ocarina of Time speedrunner. Like, that's about it. Alright then. So, Devil May Cry 3 is done. Now I'm gonna record the one for Guitar Hero. Wow! And I don't think I have this description in the document. That's not scripted. Okay, so before the list actually begins, I have like a short intro, you know, like I usually do. Greetings everybody! What's up? Click like and subscribe and all that shit. No, not really. But the thing is with this list is that there can only appear one game from each series, you know? So I can't have, for example, 2 Final Fantasy games or like 5 Smash games or whatever. So that's the thing. So I have to pick my favorite game from that, like, series. I guess that's it. Hey, look at that! It's fucking Lolly Master. He is down in Denmark right now. Denmark. And he is at a Smash tournament. So how's that working out for you? And also I appreciate... Wait, I can actually just show you the image he sent. Oh, that's a very nice resolution, man. Thank you. Oh, there we go. That's much better. So this is where Lolly Master is right now. Smash tournament. Wow. Look at all these fucking Scandinavians. Sweaty nerds. I fucking love it. So that's great. Yeah, they do. Oh, ain't that nice? Another weeb. Well, at least he's not a hater of other people, right? You see, the weebs the weeps usually don't hate on the gacha facts, but the gacha facts hate on the weeps. So I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know. So one funny thing about this list now is that I recorded the first 10 games without streaming. So I had this kind of stale narrator voice, like, this game has unfortunately always been under the staple of a horrible game. You know, those generic voiceovers. But now when I'm streaming, I will most likely change my entire approach, which is just fun, you know, when we actually watch the video on YouTube later. So when we go from Devil May Cry 3 to Guitar Hero, it's gonna be like a completely different tone of voice. So I mean, why the fuck not? You know, I usually never see that. Like the weeps hating the weeps. The fuck? Okay, so he's starting in 50 minutes. You and Vilmer is going to kill some weird guys. Then it's Glut. Okay, so you're up against Gluttony, which is like the best Wario player in the world. So that's insane. Okay, so let's just go ahead and record the Guitar Hero one and see how that goes. I'm gonna try to not have it too, what is it, unserious? What's the word? Like it's supposed to be like a half serious video, so we'll see. Am I still streaming at Libra? Nope. We haven't done that for quite some time now. Lack of motivation and whatnot. And also, I have my own personal problems with the Libra game, which have like developed over the months. Like I don't. What's the word? Fucking English, man. How do you speak English? Trivs. What's that word in English? Trivs. I don't. Fuck. Like I don't want to be in the main room where we usually stream. Like I don't enjoy being there as much as I did before. And so when we stream, there's kind of like this feeling like I have to be there. Like we have a stream, I have to be there and all that shit. But I usually keep myself out of that room. I don't know. I have some stupid personal problems which I'm still trying to figure out. So yeah, hopefully we'll stream more if I can get my shit together. What song should you learn? Undertale, maybe? It depends, like, what type of music do you usually play? Because I made one of those synthesia, whatever they're called. What is it? Piano? Piano? I like this one. Four hands piano. Stupid fucking title and stupid chart, but still. So I made this one for the Undertale song. So if you have a friend, you can play this with together. Like, wow. So it's an easy, beautiful song. So like, why not? So this one is on YouTube if you want to learn it. It's pretty fucking nice. And I think I charted, yeah, I guess you can say that, charted or made this one by ear. It's been a while actually. So yeah, this is one of my favorite songs to play on the piano, although I don't play it that much. Hey look, speaking of Undertale, we have Undertale Foxy here. So good, yes. And then after I learned this one, I played my, like, you know, full cover, which I still think is really nice, actually. Spoiler! That's not what I'm working on! You didn't see anything. Where's my fucking video? .mov? Who the fuck uses MOV, Crims? God damn. The fuck is this player? I don't get it. But yeah, I made a full cover. When the game turned 1 year old. Very nice. I'm still very happy with how it came out and how it sounds. So good shit. one of my favorite songs. And speaking of video game music, I made this list while I was down in South Sweden visiting my family. And so while I wrote this list, I was like, maybe this is like a trend I can start with, like Crims in 2020. A bunch of top 10 and top 20 lists, because I usually never do that. The only list I've done before this one is top 5 like replay value. What's a fucking piece of shit list, but hey, it was fun to make, and it was like 8 years ago or something, or even more. But still, I never do lists, And when I watched that old video, it's like it's super cringe, but I still like it because it takes me back to that time when I made it. So yeah, it's good. So this is my like first real like top 20 list or whatever, with a short description of each game. I was like, yeah, I might do another one. I would like to do a list on like my favorite like video game music. That would be interesting, for myself, because I've never actually thought about that. Like, which song is my absolute favorite when it comes to video game music? And I've been thinking, like, is it the Undertale song? Maybe. Is it like One Winged Angel from Final Fantasy VII? I don't fucking know. That's why it's kind of fun for me to make a list, so I can like figure that out for myself. But yeah, indeed, it is a very hard question. Bungie? To be honest, I haven't played many games by Bungie, so I don't know. Probably won't happen. Yeah. So I am ready, I guess. Let's drink some water. Stay hydrated, please. It's important. Let's just do one take. Fuck it! We'll do it live! That's an old meme. Does anyone recognize that one? Persona 5? With the same picture? Oh? Picture? What do you mean picture? I don't know. Okay. Yeah, let's record number 10. Oh boy. I'm home alone today, so that's pretty nice. And before you fuck nuggets out there think, oh, he's still living with his parents, lol. No, I'm not. I'm living with a bunch of weebs and gamers in a house. And actually not a bunch, it's just me and another dude. We're living in a house, it's pretty cool. Yeah, quiet, fuck's sake. Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock, released in 2010 for the Xbox 360. What more can I say except that I love music and games? Guitar Hero also started my YouTube channels. I made a lot of charts for songs that weren't originally in the games, especially video game music and anime songs. Similar to playing a real instrument, the possibilities are near endless with how many songs you can play and how skillful you can become. I also love playing the drums. So I mean, like that's basically it. It's a very short description. Like, what more do I need to say? I mean, that's what I start with. So that's why I like these short, bite-sized descriptions of these games. And like everybody knows about Guitar Hero, so what more do I need to say? Two dudes alone. Oh ho. Yeah, we're smashing it every night, Bunch of Smash. Speaking of Smash, I played Smash Online with my brother down now when I was in South Sweden, and I broke my past record. We won 28 matches in a row online, co-op, 2v2. I mean, it's not much to brag about, because the game had a lot of new players, because it was during, Christmas and New Year. So a bunch of fucking plebs started playing online. And so, yeah, a bunch of those matches weren't really matches, They didn't even know how to play. But still, my previous record was 21 matches. And so I broke that with 28. That was pretty insane. And not to be like a sore loser, but the biggest reason why we lost the 29th match, we got so tired and our eyes like started to like stale or something, so we couldn't concentrate anymore. So yeah, that's why we lost, lol. But yeah, it was fun. It really is. Playing Super Smash Brothers with your brothers, really takes me back. Like we did that shit back in the Nintendo 64 days, so we're still doing it, and it's like so nice. You know, some things in life never really change. Like me and my brothers playing video games, that has always been a thing for as long as I can remember. Like there isn't anything else, you know. Me and my brothers are gamers. Like that's what it is. It doesn't have to change, and it probably never will. And you know, it makes me happy. Wow, emotional creams. All right then. So let's go ahead and save this one. I kind of want to do like one takes because they feel more natural, and it also reminds me of how the fuck Steven Wilson, when he records like his albums, like the first takes he records, like the vocals, he usually goes with those because he thinks that once you have written these emotional parts, the first time you sing it is like the most like special take or whatever. And so for him, even though the take might not sound perfect, it's still the first take of something he just written, and so it feels more natural and so on. So like that's kind of my philosophy as well when it comes to recording. But the thing is, I suck dick, so I have to make so many takes before it actually comes out well. But any jackass can read a script, so I mean, hopefully I won't fail with that. We shall see. And also, is this the first stream that I like, YouTube and Twitch at the same time? The restream? Did I do that for Woolly World? I don't remember. But yeah, we're streaming to both Twitch and YouTube at the same time. So hopefully that works. And you guys can let me know what you think. Hey, Crims, go to Mixer, lol. How about no? Okay. Let's record number 9. Let's just read through it first, because this text, like a bunch of this text, aren't super well thought out. It's mostly straight from my feelings or like off the top of my head. So before I record it, I might actually just read through it first with my voice to see if the words actually go, well together. So let's see. This game made me love psychological horror and blended it perfectly with smooth 60 FPS gameplay. Wow! In 2002, that's insane! The voice acting is on point, the story, and the vast cast of characters. Oh, that's nice to say. Vast cast of characters. That you switch between are all interesting. Yeah, sure. Why is there a little T after the period? Fucking stupid. The gameplay mechanics, sanity effects, and magic system are still unique to this day. Is that a fact? Crims, I want some fucking source. Like, am I saying this as fact? Or is it my opinion? That's what I worry about sometimes. Like, when people watch this, will they assume that I'm talking like, this is fact? Or is this just his opinions? Do you need to overstate that? In every single sentence, do you need to say, in my honest opinion? I don't know. How does YouTube work? You guys tell me. But yeah, I'm okay. I usually do those comedic coughs because it's funny, and yeah, it makes me ready to record something, I guess. So yeah, it's exaggerated for the fun of it. The soundtrack is one of the best you can find on the GameCube, I guess. Speaking of which, I think that's the main reason why this game didn't get as much attention as it could have. Could have had. I think it's easier if I apostrophe right there. Could have had. Could have had. Could have had. I think this is easier to say. Could have had. I was sick like a week ago. So I still have some slime. Do you say that? slime in my throat and shit. So when I cough, it's like, it's not nice. So hopefully it won't affect my voiceover too much, but it doesn't. Mucus, how nice. Could have had. Most mature games were on the PS2 at the time. Should I say that? Because I'm speaking about, 2002 here. So most mature games, were. So that's the key word here. I say were on the PS2. Not today. So this game went under the radar for people seeking a serious and horrific experience. It's fucking Marcus! I'm so happy to see you here, my friend. And I will be even more happy to see you down in Sweden. Holy shit, you did not see that. Why are... The stream isn't linked. Didn't I have a bot that, linked automatically? I guess I have to... I have to do it myself. Fuck it! Wow, who the fuck is that? Get him out of here. I actually don't look like that anymore. I have a new haircut and I have a mustache. Oh wait, did I have that on that picture? I think I did. But glasses and shit, a new haircut. Wow. And you guys should be thankful that I don't have a cam on right now, because my hair is utterly insane. And I will explain why. Because yesterday at Libra, one of the people there, I gave them permission to use wax and hairstyling shit on my hair and style it however they want. So they did that. So I had hair wax the whole day. Because I also recorded something for a music video. Now the thing is, I didn't shower that day. Before You Dance game me, I showered before Libra game. So I don't think I should shower 2 times a day. Because I don't get sweaty or whatnot at Libra. So never mind. So I went home after Libra, it was midnight, I went to fucking bed with wax and all that shit, I slept with it, I woke up, I looked myself in the mirror, and holy shit, it was like a fucking bush, thorn valley, holy crap, and that's what I still have, because today I'm alone for the entire day, I'm not seeing anyone, I'm here in my room, working on this shit, and now apparently I'm streaming, so I didn't, I didn't need to fix my hair because no one is going to see me. So yeah, I look like a fucking outcast. I don't know. I look really, really weird right now with my hairstyle. But it feels good. So who the fuck cares? No one is seeing me right now either way. And once I'm done with this stream and this list, I'm gonna take a shower and then it will all be okay. Yeah, Spike Bush, I guess. So yeah, that's how it is right now. No webcam. So no megalul. It won't happen. Okay, so this text seems to be fine. I still haven't showed my top 5 games, right? It's still a mystery. Wow. And also, I'm not using the microphone I usually do for streaming. Right now I'm using the Shure SM57, which is like an instrument microphone. Dynamic shit, whatever, technical stuff. I usually use the other condenser shotgun microphone, so I don't know if OBS, the settings are working well for this microphone, so I don't know, hope as long as you guys can hear me, I guess that's it. We will get to the top 5 very soon, my friend. Don't you worry. Alright, let's record Eternal Darkness. Fucking mucus, goddamn. Okay. Maybe it will add some flavor to the voiceover. Oh boy. It sounds a bit different, yeah. That's the point. I like this microphone for voiceover. It sounds very tight. Let's go. Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem, released in 2002 for the GameCube. This game made me love psychological horror and blended it perfectly with smooth 60 FPS gameplay. The voice acting is on point, the story and the vast cast of characters that you switch between are all interesting. The gameplay mechanics, sanity effects, and the magic system are still unique to this day. The soundtrack is one of the best you can find on the GameCube. Speaking of which, I think that's the main reason why this game didn't get as much attention as it could have had. God fucking damn it. Speaking of which, I think that's the main reason why this game didn't get as much attention as it could have had. Most mature games were on the PS2, so this game went under the radar for people seeking a more serious and horrific experience. I don't know about that one. It sounds pretty, generic. The fuck? You're a subscriber now? When did that happen? I didn't get any notification. Are you seriously a subscriber? I don't see a badge. How the fuck? How? Explain? You just... Okay. Boy. I'm not used to this, voiceover top 10 list shenanigans. So I don't know what type of tone I want to have in my voice. I think for most people, you hate your own voice. It just sounds so annoying. But still, I think it's fine. In Persona 5, without spoiling anything, there is a scene where they talk about why people don't like their own voice. And they said, it's because when you talk, from your perspective, you're hearing your voice through your bones. It's pretty spooky, but, that's how it is. The vibration, especially for males, I guess, the bass and all that shit, vibrates through your bones and all that shit around your ears. And that's how you have heard yourself throughout your entire life. So when you have your voice recorded and you listen to it, for the first part, it's digital. That's not your voice. It's just a bunch of zeros and ones, depending on, the quality and all that shit. But still, you're not used to hearing your voice through audio waves only. You hear it through the vibrations in your bones. It's pretty fucking cool, actually. And I believe the more you hear your own voice recorded, the better you get at not hating it as much. So yeah, it's pretty fun, to hear your voice after a while. But in the beginning, 90% of people hate their own voice. It's like, what the fuck? Do I sound like that? I'm like, yeah, you do. Then fucking live with it. The worst thing people can do, after they hear their own voice recorded, they actively try to change it. And so they just sound like a complete dumbass when they go to work later. Like, stop it. Just be yourself, dude. Just don't go around like, hello guys, I have a new voice now. Much cooler, What the fuck are you on about? Stop it. Did I save this one? Yeah, I did. Bye-bye. I get goosebumps and bone chilling. Goddamn. I don't want to show too much of the list, so bye-bye. And also, it's easier to concentrate when the only text is the next one. So yeah. Woo! Is it going well? I don't know. Is it? Am I doing okay? Am I okay, champ chat? I mean, is everything okay? I don't know. Thanks. Okay, let's do a read through. Secret of Evermore, 1995, Super SNES. Another game fueled by nostalgia. Well, that's all you need to hear. Move on. I think that's what people will think when they hear this. The first thing I say about a game, in my defense, why it's in the top 8 spot, it's fueled by nostalgia. It's okay, we don't give a damn. It lives in the shadow of Secret of Mana. Oh, yeah. But what I love about this game is the tone, the setting of the world, and how genuine it all feels. That's true. It's so weird. I forget that I'm the one who wrote this. It's so stupid. Sometimes, yeah, I feel like that way too. No fucking shit, you're the one who wrote it! The game was made by a pretty small team. And most of them had never worked on a game before. It was also the first game, how do you pronounce that? Jeremy Soul? Jeremy Soul, I guess. Jeremy Soul composed music for. Yeah, that's pretty fucking cool. Who would later move on to Elder Scrolls and Warcraft. This game was my first RPG and left a strong impression with its number nature in levels, experience points, equipment, and so on. Wait, is the plural for equipment, does that have an S? Equipments? The number nature in levels, points, equipments. I don't know. You tell me. Wait, what does Google Docs say? Because sometimes they say, hey, wait up, boy. Yeah, you see, fucking stupid. Consider changing to equipment. Suggestion is wrong, because I'm the fucking pro, apparently. Yeah. You know, I might get flamed for pronouncing his name weirdly, but that's what makes it human, you know? We're not fucking perfect! I don't know how to pronounce every single name in this world, so if I pronounce it dickbag scum, that's my fault. Sorry. So let's see. Jeremy Soul. Jeremy Soul. Can I say that? Do you think it's weird? Jeremy Soul. Soule. Okay. Secret of Evermore, released in 1995 for the Super Nintendo. Another game fueled by nostalgia. It lives in the shadow of Secret of Mana, but what I love about this game is the tone, the setting of the world, and how genuine it all feels. The game was made by a pretty small team, and most of them have never worked on a game before. It was also the first game Jeremy Soule composed music for, who would later move on to Elder Scrolls and Warcraft. This game was my first RPG and left a strong impression with its number nature in levels, experience points, equipment, and so on. So yeah, I guess Snore. I mean, let's be honest here. At this point, top 8, everybody's sleeping, so it doesn't matter what I say. I think I screwed up on most of them had never worked on a game before. I think I said have. Most of them have never worked. Let me listen. Number nature in level. Fuck you. Genuine it all feels. The game was made by a pretty small team, and most of them have never worked. Okay, so I did say had, but I had a stupid fucking pause. Let's increase the volume. And most of them have never worked. I said have. Have. Most of them have never worked. Fucking douche! Let's redo it. Or actually, I can just record that part. Like that sentence. So we'll continue from here. And record the rest. Where is it? Most of them had never worked on a game before. The game was made by a pretty small team, and most of them had never worked on a game before. Yeah, super generic, but I don't know why I feel that way. Like, do I want the Creams type of voice to make an appearance? It's so weird, you know? I think what I have recorded so far, in the beginning I said, greetings everybody, my name is Alex. Like, usually when I say that, I don't have that stupid, irritating voice. So it's Alex speaking, I believe. I don't know. Oh, it's time for a big one, Final Fantasy. I don't want to spoil the rest of the list. You guys have to bear with me. There we go. Nice. Oh, what's that? That's a cute emote. You didn't... Limited time only. Huh. Cool. Well, it is what it is. Did I save it? I did save it. Good. Final Fantasy VIII, 1999, PlayStation. Do you guys think I should say PlayStation 1 or just PlayStation? Because back in the day, it wasn't called, 1. Just PlayStation. So I think that's enough, right? Hopefully. Released in 1999 for the PlayStation. Some call it the black sheep of the series. This one changed some of the core Final Fantasy mechanics. Some example. Okay, this is really weirdly written, like period, and so they don't flow naturally together. First PlayStation? Yeah, I think I would just go with PlayStation, to be honest. This one changed some of the core Final Fantasy mechanics. Some examples are. This is really weirdly written, I think. This one changed some of the core Final Fantasy mechanics. And some examples are. Do you say that? And some examples are? English, motherfucker! Core mechanics, and some examples are replacing MP for the draw and stock system, and introducing enemy level scaling, and a bunch of and. It's way too many. We have and too many ands. I don't like it. Such as. Can't I just say that instead? We'll do this. Comma, such as. Replacing, there we go, such as replace, much better. Like, yeah, I do that myself too much, actually. Such as replacing MP for the draw and stock system, take away the and again, introducing enemy level scaling, and a fixed EXP requirement for every level. So that's much better, I think, because now we only have one and. No, we have two. For the draw and stock system, introducing level scaling, and a fixed EXP experience points requirement. Okay. Should I say EXP and expect people to understand it, or should I say experience points requirement? It gets me thinking. When I was in not high school, what the fuck? What is it called in English? College? I don't know. Let's say that. Like, you have a very big project at the end of college where you can do whatever you want, and you have like a half a year to complete it. But you have to explain every single detail as if the one who is looking at it is fucking stupid. But no, like, let's say I make a video about a video game. I can't just assume that the people know everything or like the basics of video games. I have to explain every single acronym and things like that. Should I apply the same thing here? Like, do I assume that they know what EXP requirement is? It's something to think about. Because I want this video to be understandable, for as many people as possible. Because if I didn't give a shit about that, I would just make it in Swedish. But nope, here I am. But I'll say EXP, or XP. EXP is so weird to say. Most people say XP. And it looks like a smiley, so. And a fixed XP requirement for every level. Experience point requirement. Oh boy. This left many players confused and with a bad first impression. But with the... You don't need a period if you have but. And you shouldn't start a sentence with but. From what I have learned in school. With a bad first impression. But with a little time and patience, you'll gradually understand how it all works. And ultimately realize how versatile the system is. And you shouldn't start with no? Wait, did I start with no? What do you mean? Let's see. You can build your characters in many different ways, so experimentation is rewarding. This adds to the replay value, as there are multiple ways to challenge yourself once you're familiar with the system. The soundtrack is one of my all-time favorites, and the lack of voice acting makes the music shine even more. The world setting and atmosphere is literally beyond this world. Wow. Even though this game, for me, is fueled... Oh, here we go. Fueled by nostalgia, I still believe it's a really misunderstood game. So, we have two games here, right? Back to back. And both of them say fueled by nostalgia. That will get old very quickly. So... And this one begins by saying it is fueled by nostalgia, and this one kind of ends with it. Try to read the description. Okay. I don't want to have the same wording, fueled. So, even though this game for me is highly nostalgic, is that a weird way to say it? I don't know. Even though this game, for me, you see, once again, here I assume that people think that you're talking facts. So that's why I add for me, so it's like, it's my opinion. It's so weird how you word things and how people understand it, or rather, how they choose to understand it. Because people can take your words and apply them in a different way, just because they want to find faults in your speech. Let's say someone hates Final Fantasy VIII. They will try their best to take the wording and apply it in, as negative way as possible, because they hate this game. I might be wrong here. I'm just assuming. Let's just say, even though I have a lot of nostalgia for this game, I have a lot of nostalgia. Oh, never mind. A lot of nostalgia for this game. For this game. I still believe it's a really misunderstood game. But now we have a new problem. For this game. So game. Don't want to do that. Gom. Maybe I don't even need these three words. I can just say, even though I have a lot of nostalgia, I still believe it's a really misunderstood game. Does this sentence make sense for you guys? Even though I have a lot of nostalgia, comma, I still believe it's a really misunderstood game. Does that work? It feels weird. Or maybe, even though it has. Look at the 5-head in the making. Even though it has a lot of nostalgia, fuck yes, I solved it. I hope. You don't need money. You need the pirate ship. No, I didn't say anything. You really shouldn't have done that. I believe this is okay. Right? Yeah, most likely. So let's do another read through quickly. Some call it the black sheep of the series. This one changed some of the core Final Fantasy mechanics. I only say Final Fantasy once in the entire text, so I believe that's good enough. I don't want to reuse words too much. It has to have a natural flow, So let's do a test recording, but first I need more water. Fuck! It's out! No more water. I'm gonna fucking die. Lack of water, because I'm streaming. Here we go. Final Fantasy VIII, released in 1999 for the PlayStation. Some call it the black sheep of the series. This one changed some of the core Final Fantasy mechanics, such as replacing MP for the draw and stock system, introducing enemy level scaling, and a fixed XP requirement for every level. This left many players confused, and with a bad first impression, but with a little time and patience, you'll gradually understand how it all works, and ultimately realize how versatile the system is. You can build your characters in many different ways, so experimentation is rewarding. This adds to the replay value, as there are multiple ways to challenge yourself once you're familiar with the system. The soundtrack is one of my all-time favorites, and the lack of voice acting makes the music shine even more. The world setting and atmosphere is literally beyond this world, and even though I have a lot of nostalgia, I still believe it's a really misunderstood game. Whew. Yeah. I think that's okay. So my roommate or housemate, I don't know, just came home. So I closed the door. And that's all. And Lakota Soulja is here. You know, you can actually thank Lakota. Because he wrote to me today, I believe. And said that, where the fuck have you been, boy? I miss your silly shit streams. Something like that. And I was like, but I want to record this video. But then I just said, you know, why not stream while recording it? That could be fun. They said. The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Very nice. Don't forget to save this one first. So that was number 7, 24-bit. Perfect. Go get in the fridge or something. And thanks for the host. Do we have... what is it called? Alerts? Stream alerts? Because I didn't see anything about hosting or whatever. So that, I don't know. Yes, take this one away. And now we can begin with number 6. Yeah, of course. I should get some more water. I'll do it after Majora's Mask. Okay, so what do we have here? I wrote this like in the middle of the night, so some of them might be weird. That's why we're here. Clown butt. What the fuck? Okay. The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, released in 2000. Released in 2000. I've never said that before. For the Nintendo 64. There's nothing I can say that still hasn't been said a million times about this game. It's a masterpiece. The story, characters, music, gameplay, and the atmosphere are all top-notch. Ocarina of Time is just a hair away, but Majora's Mask won because of its daring nature. It has some very risky design that works out just wonderful, and I've never seen a game like it since. I especially love how dark and sad the game is. Something I realize... Okay, so that's weird. We have a period here, so I like there's a pause, but when I read it out loud, I don't want a pause here. Like how dark and sad the game is, which is something I realized as I grew older. It sounds more natural, I believe. I especially love how dark and sad the game is. Something I realized as I grew older. I don't know. Yeah, you do that. Get some tea. I especially love how dark and sad the game is, which is something I realized as I grew older. Or maybe I can just flip the sentence on its head and say something I realized as I grew older, was how dark and sad the game is. Maybe that sounds better? Let's see. How does it flow with this text? It has a very risky design that that works out just wonderful, and I've never seen a game like it since. Something I realized as I grew older is how dark and sad the game is. But then we lose the I especially love. And it's pretty important, I think. But I think it flows much better if we start with something I realized. It flows much better. So we'll do that. Something I realized as I grew older is how dark and sad the game is. But is that right? Something I realized as I grew older is how dark. Because we're talking in past tense or whatever, past whatever. Something I realized as I grew older was how. Maybe it should be was how dark. Because realized, I've already done it. So something I realized as I grew older was how dark and sad the game is. Yeah. It sounds logical, I believe. Instead of having a bunch of dungeons and temples, the game focuses more on the overworld. Okay, characters and side quests. The speedrun community is still active to this day, and new tricks are still being discovered. So, this is pretty weird. We don't need to say to this day and still being, because they both apply the same thing, right? The speedrun community is still active, and new tricks are still. But then we have two stills. It's still active, and new tricks are being discovered. Oh, God. Help me! I don't know how to word this shit. The tea I drink is not actually tea, but I write tea in my language. Meh. Okay, that reminds me of back in the day when I made commentary. I said that I drink red wine all the time, but it wasn't red wine. Oof, betrayal. It was actually red soft drink, like strawberry shit, sugar drink, whatever. So yeah, how can I ever be forgiven? The speedrun community is still active to this day. Or maybe just the speedrun community is active to this day, and new tricks are still being discovered. Or maybe we don't even need all those words. Like the speedrun community is active, and new tricks are still being discovered. But I want to apply that it has been active since it came out. You drink fermented grape juice. How the fuck do you know that? I hate grape juice. Grape juice. It tastes like shit. You're not gonna eat glass? Is that a Swedish joke? Glass and glass. The speedrun community is active. Is still active. Let's just move the word still over here. Because now the sentence makes more sense. Like the speedrun community is still active, so the still implies that it is active since the game came out. So it's still active, and new tricks are being discovered. Like it's still happening. So that's what I want to say with that sentence, and now it looks better. Wow, writing with Crims. How much fun. I don't know what that is. Bacardi. You can say whatever, and I would assume that it is just a exotic drink. I mean, seriously, say whatever you want. I'm drinking spoiled cartridge. It's like, wow. Like, I don't know what that means, but it sounds exotic. Let's see here. Okay, I think this text is good enough. So, The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 2000 for Nintendo 64. Released in 2000 for the Nintendo 64. The fuck? Okay, I don't approve. But to be honest, I don't approve of alcohol at all. Doesn't matter which age you are. I still think it's a complete waste of everything. But yeah. Let's see here. The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, released in 2000 for the Nintendo 64. What a mouthful. The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, released in 2000 for the Nintendo 64. There's nothing There is nothing I can say that still hasn't been said a million times about this game. It's a masterpiece. The story, characters, music, gameplay, and atmosphere are all top-notch. Ocarina of Time is just a hair away, but Majora's Mask won because of its daring nature. It has some very risky design that works out just wonderful, and I've never seen a game like it since. Something I realized as I grew older was how dark and sad the game is. Instead of having a bunch of dungeons and temples, the game focuses more on the overworld, characters, and the side quests. The speedrun community is still active, and new tricks are being discovered. I don't know. It falls flat, I think. Yeah, the theme of death is like all over Majora's Mask. I mean, Ocarina of Time has the theme of death a lot as well, but Majora's Mask is a little bit more bold with it. Like the whole world kind of centers around death. So it's pretty grim for, especially for a Nintendo game. God damn. But yeah, most people get that from game theory. Like the darkness of the game, like Link is dead throughout the entire game. Like, yeah, all of that comes from game theory. And I mean, it's not a bad video, but yeah, sure. I have my thoughts about it. I believe this one is pretty okay. Very risky design. Never seen a game like it since. Okay, so this is pretty weird. So this sentence right here, something I realized, doesn't blend well, or doesn't, transition over to the next sentence, because it feels like I'm continuing with that sentence, Like, something I realized as I grew older was how dark and sad the game is, you see? So now I'm talking about how dark and sad the game is. And the next sentence talks about something completely else, So it doesn't flow together. It's like it jumps very drastically. That's how dark and sad the game is. Instead of having a bunch of dungeons and temples, the game focuses more on the overworld. So, see, this has nothing to do with dark and sad. So for me, it is confusing, but maybe no one gives a shit. And Opus is here, goddamn! Thank you, my lord. Fuck yes. It's all coming back. It's all coming together, I mean. But this video isn't super serious, so it can be as it is. No one gives a shit. Alright, boys, we are ready to begin with the top 5 games of Mr. Crimsy. But before we do that, I need some water. So I'll be right back. Not today. Woo! I got something better for you, fuck nuggets. That's fucking copyrighted, Crims. Okay, sorry. That's a fucking banger. I don't listen to... What the fuck? Did you time him out? Excuse me? Oh, 51 messages. God damn. It's fair use, I guess. But yeah, I don't listen to a lot of deathcore. Like maybe 3 bands in total. I don't know. I'm not big into deathcore. But yeah, Thy Artist Murder is pretty fucking nice. You know, I can talk about this for hours, literally. But in a short way, I noticed that a lot of people think that I'm a metal Nazi or whatever. Like the only thing I listen to is metal. Like what the fuck? It has become so apparent for me, especially at like Libra Game and at my previous workplace. Like I talk about my album. I show them some snippets here and there. I know a lot about like the metal world, Metallica, Megadeth, Anthrax, Slayer, and so on. And so people assume that the only thing I listen to is metal, which is so weird to me in a way. But honestly, I don't listen to that much metal, as I did before. But when it comes to metal, I'm pretty fastidious about it. Like it has to be really fucking good metal if I'm gonna sit down and listen to it. I don't listen to generic shit where it's like the same thing over and over with growling voices and the volume is as loud as it can all the time. Like it doesn't appeal to me. When it comes to metal, it has to be really fucking good. So that's why I only listen to Dream Theater. No, not really, but Dream Theater's metal is like perfect for me because they change a lot. It's a dynamic, like the contrast between the soft parts and whatever, and the complex technical parts and the heavy metal. Like it all comes together so nicely. So that's why. Don't want to talk about this too much right now. My favorite music genre is progressive rock. So it's not even metal, goddamn. Alright then. We are done with Majora's Mask. We have saved it. Yes, number 6. It's time for top 5. Goddamn. You didn't see top 4. That's why you want a song with a bunch of time signatures? No. Actually, it doesn't have to be. For the most part of my music life, time signatures hasn't been, in the focus at all. It came recently. Especially once I was done with my album and I wanted to make more. I've already started on the next album, but I asked myself, what can I do differently? Because I don't want to do the same things over and over. I want to do something different. Like Steven Wilson, once again. I mean, I go after his philosophy a lot, but hey, that's just how it is. And so, a thing with the new album is contrast, not just metal and rock. Like, there's a much bigger contrast in music genres and styles in the new album, but also time signatures. So that's what made it interesting for me. So not just heavy, brutal metal with time signatures, but also happy and some unusual genres I haven't done before in different time signatures. So that's what makes it interesting for me. How can I make this work? How can I put my own twist on it? And why am I still be right back? There we go. Right. One of my favorite metal bands is Annihilator. And they like never use different time signatures. So yeah, it's not that big, but I've come to appreciate it a lot more after I started listening to Dream Theater a fuck ton, and also Meshuggah. I think Meshuggah is holy fucking crap. It's like, goddamn, it's a league of its own. I really like Meshuggah. There we go. Let's start with number 5. Metal punk dubstep. Whoa. Top 3 for you is very broad umbrella terms. But in the very okay, I read that wrong. In the very broad umbrella terms would be metal, rock, electronic, wavy, like retro wave, synth wave, lo-fi. Nice. Okay then. We have new, fresh, cold water. Feels much better. And we are gonna do a read through of number 5, Undertale, and see if we can make the text flow a little better. So, Undertale released in 2015 for the PC. Talk about a deceptively simple game that doesn't just go outside the box. It continues out the storage, the city, and leaves the fucking planet. I truly love the freedom of choice, and the soundtrack is possibly my all-time favorite. It can't be understated, understated that almost everything was made by a single person. The simple graphics has its charm. Oh boy, has its charm, and leaves a lot to your imagination. That sounds like a defense, you know. The graphics are so simple and shit that you have to use your imagination. But yeah. Kind of like a book. The characters are written beautifully, and it really feels like you're new to this living, breathing world. Wait, and it really feels like you're new. Yeah, you are new to this living, breathing world. Okay, I think that's right. You're new in this, to this? Yeah, to. The other guy? The Undertale boy? He apparently... I'm Nick Zek. Is he still timed out? I mean, Opus, you're a moderator as well. I mean, I don't want him to disappear. Maybe 600 seconds was a little bit too much. I don't know. Let's see here. The characters are written beautifully, but still, the only thing I saw was 51 messages deleted. So I mean, that's a heavy abuse of spam. So stop it. No, I did not. I did not read what he said. The characters are written beautifully, and it really feels like you're new to this living, breathing world. It doesn't treat you like a hero, and that it all revolves around you, which makes your presence and choices feel all the more special. Another aspect I love is that it's not apparent who is the good or bad guy. Most people just assume that you're the good guy, especially when it comes to humans and monsters. Your choices will greatly affect this outcome. A work of art that will stand as a testament to how a low-budget game made by one person can turn out to be something truly special. Minecraft! Maybe. But yeah, this game and Minecraft. But I like Undertale more than Minecraft. But that's just my opinion. I'm not too big on sandbox and, you know, open-ended games. I even said that back in the Overwatch text. Like, most games I've played and are on this list are ones that have a beginning and an end. So I guess that's what appeals to me more. In the majority of games. Right. I think the text is alright. I think. It doesn't treat you like a hero, and that it all revolves around you. Presents make all more special. Another aspect must be. I think I want to change this sentence. Most people just assume that you are the good guy, especially when it comes to humans and monsters. Should I add anything there? Like, especially when it comes to worlds with humans and monsters, or games with humans? I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is it good as it is? I think it is good as it is. Doesn't matter if it's a game or a book or a film. When it comes to humans and monsters, people generally assume that the humans are the good guys, you know. Especially when the monsters attack you first. But there's a lack of understanding in the beginning, so you don't know why. And so you just kill everything like the stupid bitch you are. On your first playthrough, I might get some serious shit for this list. Especially speaking of Minecraft, it's not on this list at all. But I've asked myself many, many times. Here's the thing. I believe Minecraft is one of the most important games to ever be released. So in terms of not my opinion, what I think Undertale is one of the best games that has ever been released. But that doesn't mean it's one of my favorites to play and experience. You know, there's a difference here. And once again, I hope that people understand this when they watch this list on YouTube or whatever. That I'm not trying to talk as objectively, like this game is better than that, and Undertale isn't even worth to be a top 20 games. It's like, no, that's not what this list is about. Or am I just like paranoid here? The simple graphics have their charm, would be correct. I guess that's it. You're right. Have their charm. The simple graphics have. Yeah, of course, because graphics is plural, and you don't have has there. Have their charm. Thank you, man. You see, that's why I wanted to. Wait. Wanted to stream this as well, because maybe I can get some help. Since I feel pretty rusty with my English. And leaves a lot to your imagination. Wait, did I say Lakota? I don't know why. But yeah, thank you, Opus. Alright, I believe this is it. And another game I believe is like one of the world's most important games is Half-Life. Maybe Half-Life 2, I think, but yeah. But Half-Life is definitely, if I go outside of myself, I think Half-Life is one of the most important games ever to be released. But still, Half-Life is not on this list at all. And that gets me thinking, like, why not? I don't know. I'm just going with my gut feeling. I really like Half-Life, but not enough for a top 20, I believe. Wait, you're talking about Half-Life now? How important it is, but you haven't played it? I mean, you should. I mean, if you like first-person adventures, you should definitely play Half-Life. It's a masterpiece. How have your Christmas and New Year's? In short, because I want to start recording now, it has been good and different. This was the first Christmas ever that I spent without my family. I instead spent it with my landlord and his family. And that was really nice. And then when it came to New Year, I spent the last, the last 2 hours or whatever for midnight. I spent those entirely alone. I'd never done that before. So I was like, yeah, why not? I try to celebrate a new year by myself. and I listened to Majora's Mask music. You know, when the moon is falling, I listened to that track just before the midnight swift shifts, whatever. So that was interesting. But yeah, all in all, I had a good Christmas and New Year. I don't drink grape juice, fuck's sake! I drank orange juice and water. That's basically it. That's like all I drink. And milk. Okay, let's record number 5. Woo! Let's do this! Let's see here. We do this, and then we press record, and we go. Undertale, released in 2015 for the PC. Talk about a deceptively simple game that doesn't just go outside the box. It continues out the storage, the city, and leaves the fucking planet. I truly love the freedom of choice, and the soundtrack is possibly my all-time favorite. It can't be understated that almost everything was made by a single person. The simple graphics have their charm, and leaves a lot to your imagination. Kind of like a book. The characters are written beautifully, and it really feels like you're new to this living, breathing world. It doesn't treat you like a hero, and that it all revolves around you, which makes your presence and choices feel all the more special. Another aspect I love is that it's not apparent who is the good or bad guy. Most people just assume that you are the good guy, especially when it comes to humans and monsters. Your choices will greatly affect this outcome. A work of art that will stand as a testament to how a low-budget game made by one person can turn out to be something truly special. So yeah, I believe that's good enough. Yeah, we'll go with that. First take, baby. Why not? Number 5, we're done with that shit. Big dick energy. Nice. Yeah, it's saved. Good. I want to repeat myself from the beginning of the stream. The current ranking, as you're seeing right now, like number 6 is Majora's Mask, number 5 is Undertale. It's not completely set in stone, actually. I have some ideas. I want to, for example, put F-Zero ahead of Smash Bros. So that's why I'm just recording all of these separately. And then when I make and edit the final video, I can like move around the rankings and just change the number. That's why I don't say number 15, F-Zero GX, because that limits me. Like now it has to be number 15. So instead I will just show the number, and I will just say the title. Makes it more, flexible if I need to change anything. Burger King Foot Lettuce? What the fuck you're on about? We are here with no Resident fucking Evil. Now this is a classic Jill sandwich. Oh boy. Okay. So one thing I'm thinking of here is that Super Smash Brothers begins with the current king of all fighting games. And what I mean about this sentence is kind of objectively, because it's the most selling fighting game ever, right? So this one isn't just my feelings, it's like, that's how it is. It is the king of all fighting games because it's the most sold game. But then I say for Resident Evil here, no, the king of survival horror. So what do I mean about that? Is that objective or is it my feeling? Now in this case, this is what I feel. What do you guys think? Am I looking too deep into this? And also I need to stretch. Krauser, go get the girl. At least you and I both know where we come from. No answer to that question? Well, fuck you then! Let's continue. The king of survival horror. I was watching while waiting out the timeout, but now I have to go to sleep. Sorry for spamming so much. Yeah, it's okay, I guess. Just don't spam in the future. Thank you. Have a good one, man, and I'll see you later. When I stream again in 2 months. After all these years of remasters and remakes, this one still stands untouched as the best way to remake a classic game. So the way I'm making this sentence, once again, it sounds objective, right? I think you should be subjective instead of objective because, you know, this is a subjective list. Yeah, it is. So should I say my king of survival horror? This one still stands as as the best way to remake a classic game, in my opinion. Should I do that? This one still stands as untouched as the best way to remake a classic game. Without breaking the charm of the original game, it adds so much more flavor. In my eyes, after all these years of remasters and remakes in the gaming world, this one still stands untouched as the best way to remake a classic game in my eyes. Should I add it in the end? Because I don't really find a way to fit it in before. Maybe. I wouldn't add in my opinion because just me personally, I hate in my opinion. You do? Do you care to elaborate on that? Because I find that interesting. Because for me, in my opinion, is something good. Because I generally don't like people who speak objectively. Like their opinion is all that matters, or like that's the ultimate truth. I don't know. In my eyes, the king of survival horror. We can say that. The fuck did I just write? Tin? In my eyes, comma, the king of survival horror. And then I can just continue, because I started the list with in my eyes. Even though literally it sounds weird. But maybe not. That's just what happens when English isn't your native language, I guess. It adds so much more flavor, content, and challenge, so you never run out of ways to play it. Yeah, especially with the ongoing PC mods of randomizers. What makes this game stand out for me is how you have to respect every enemy. Instead of hordes of zombies that you dispatch off quickly for mindless fun, each zombie feels like a careful dance of room, space, and resources. Each zombie feels like a careful dance. Instead of careful, I can say like a... What's a better word? Vigilant? No, what is it? Soft? No. What's the word I'm looking for? We'll leave it for now. A careful dance of room, space, and resources. The claustrophobic nature. Like, I hate the saying in my opinion. I don't have anything against subjective speak. It's just I would rather say in my eyes than in my opinion, because it feels like everyone says that and it's a way to say your opinion without saying that it is your opinion. Huh. I guess, yeah. The original Resident Evil for PlayStation 1. Yeah, I did that with my brother not too long ago. It was really nice. Oh, actually, it was long ago. It was like 10 years ago, actually. Holy shit, I haven't played the original in a long time. I did watch, speedrun of it and like a retrospective video, but I haven't played the original Resident Evil in like 10 years. So I'm gonna stream it! Wow! I would actually like to do that. I mean, Resident Evil, the classic Resident Evil games, have always been like the main focus when it comes to my Let's Plays, commentary, streams, and all that shit. So, I mean, why the fuck haven't I played the original yet? It's pretty weird. So I will probably stream that chill at some point. Maybe I should have done that before making this list. But still, from what I remember, and in my opinion, of course, I believe the remake is much better. Because, as I said here, without breaking the charm of the original game. But maybe some people like the overly bright polygon characters and environment with the super cheesy English. I mean, even more so than the remake. But I love both versions, so don't get me wrong. But I think the remake is a fucking masterpiece. Each zombie feels like a careful dance of room, space, and resources. The claustrophobic nature of the mansion gives the enemies a huge advantage over you. Having the zombies evolve into stronger and faster crimson heads, wow! If you leave them dead on the ground for too long, gives you need to plan. Okay, that's a weird wording. Gives you need to plan ahead. Can you guys help me with a better wording there? Like forces you to plan ahead, gives you the need, gives you need to plan ahead. That's really weird. So help me with this sentence. Thank you. Because I can't find anything. But yeah, I said that in my Let's Play back in the day, that the Crimson Heads from this game is where I got my name. Mr. Crimsy gives you the need. So I only lacked the. Any English speakers? Wait, okay. According to Google, this is stupid. Consider changing you to you need. Gives you need to plan ahead. The thing is, everybody here understands what I'm trying to say with this sentence, right? It's just that it sounds weird. And there most likely is a better way to phrase it. But yeah, I think we'll go with this one for now. If you leave them... Grammar... What the fuck is that? Add to Chrome. It's free. Wow! I don't give a shit. I just want a quick... I don't want to add anything. Here we go. Let's take this entire sentence. Proofreading. Whoa. Holy shit. What? I have to get it? I want to see what's wrong. Because the spelling is right. Enhancement. What the fuck is that? Structure. Plagiarism? The fuck is that? I don't know. I'm not a native boy. You determine use, this, etc. Okay. We'll go with that for now. Gives you need to plan ahead if it's worth the resource and time to dispose of the corpses. This game will most likely stand as the Resident Evil game for all time. Okay, that sentence needs to change. That's a little bit too much. Because this doesn't sound subjective at all. It will most likely stand as the Resident Evil game for all time. I'll take away this and just say this game will most likely stand as the Resident Evil game, since the series will probably never return to its classic tank-like gameplay. maybe not but as like the classic, the original Resident Evil. I don't fucking know, man. This sentence is pretty overly boosted, I believe. As the most classic, as a classic. Huh. You know, the whole thing about this sentence is that it's from my, feeling, or my opinion, of course. Gold standard? Yeah. Like, what I want to say, because my opinion is that this game will stand as the Resident Evil game. Because they will never go back to the classic tank-like gameplay. So for me, it will stand as the Resident Evil game. So instead of changing, I can just say this game will most likely stand as the Resident Evil game for me. Since I think that's a little bit better. It doesn't sound as prestigious. I don't know. I don't know what word I'm looking for. This game will most likely stand as the Resident Evil game for me. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. I believe that most people misunderstand that limiting the total control over your character makes the game more strategic and easier for the developers to design perfect encounters with each enemy. I would say in each room, or every room, in every room, yeah. To design perfect encounters, or maybe not encounters, maybe events, to design perfect events in every room. No, perfect encounters. Fuck. Yeah, maybe. Let's see. Having the zombies evolve into the stronger and faster Crimson Heads. If you leave them dead on the ground for too long, gives you need to plan ahead if it's worth the resource and time to dispose of the corpses. Yeah, the sentence is really long, and it doesn't flow very naturally, so I agree. It needs some tweaking. Let's see here. Misunderstand limiting the total control over your character makes the game more strategic. Maybe not a comma. More strategic and easier. No, I don't want that, because then it sounds like it's more strategic and easier for the developers. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that it makes the game more strategic and then easier for the developers. So I think there should be a comma here. Makes the game more strategic, but also, yeah, let's see this. But also more strategic, but also easier for the developers. But also easier. Not really what I'm looking for. Makes the gameplay, there we go, makes the gameplay more strategic. There we go. I think this is better. So, limiting the total control over your characters makes the gameplay more strategic and easier for the developers to design perfect encounters in every room. Maybe that's better. Let's move the chat a bit. There we go. Allowing the zombies to evolve into the faster and stronger Crimson Heads by leaving them on the ground for too long will force you to plan ahead and determine if it's worth the resources and time to dispose of them. I really like that sentence more. Let's see. Having the zombies. Yeah, I also think this is weird. Having the zombies evolve. So I will just copy and paste your sentence in here if that's okay. It's definitely better than what I wrote. So allowing the zombies is even better because that's what you're doing. You have a choice to dispose of them or allow them to evolve. So I like the word choice there. Allowing the zombies to evolve to the faster and stronger Crimson Heads by leaving them on the ground for too long will force you, that's even better, will force you to plan ahead and determine if it's worth the resources and time to dispose of them. So I don't think we need to say corpses either. But yeah, by leaving them on the ground for too long. I would say by leaving them dead. Because that's what you do. You encounter the zombies, you kill them, so they fall down to the ground, and they're dead. They don't move anymore. But over time, they evolve. So I think I want to say by leaving them dead for too long. I mean, we are talking about zombies, right? So leaving the zombies dead. They're already dead. So there's nothing wrong with saying leaving them dead for too long. Or I don't know. Leaving them defeated? I mean, they are undead. So it kind of works. But okay, I mean, by leaving them defeated on the ground? Or maybe just on the ground. Yeah, by leaving them on the ground for too long. Yeah, that's actually right. Because now when I incapacitated also works. But the thing is, there are some zombies in the game that you never, fight. They already lay on the ground from the beginning. But over time, they evolve. So you don't even need to, kill them or defeat them or whatever. So leaving them on the ground for too long, I think that's better. Because that's what happens. But then there are some zombies that begin, crawling. They begin on the ground. But this is really nitpicking and doesn't really affect. Because the focus of this video is, my top 20 games. So these small details don't matter that much. No one gives a shit. This isn't a review of the game. This is just a quick overview why it's my top 4 game. So let's go ahead and record number 4 before my voice actually dies. Oh, wait. The first sentence needs to be fixed. The king of survival horror. There we go. In my eyes, king of survival horror sounds weird. Let's give it a go. Resident Evil. GameCube? The game's title is, just Resident Evil. So that's what it should be called. Because I then add, released in 2002 for the GameCube. Or Resident Evil for the GameCube, released in 2002. I can say that right. Resident Evil for the GameCube, released in 2002. Because that avoids confusion. Yeah, I'll say that. Much better. Because people might be confused as to which Resident Evil I'm talking about. But there's only one Resident Evil game for the GameCube, so we'll say that. Resident Evil for the GameCube, released in 2002. In my eyes, the king of survival horror. After all these years of remasters and remakes in the gaming world, this one still stands untouched as the best way to remake a classic game. Without breaking the charm of the original game, it adds so much more flavor, content, and challenge so you never run out of ways to play it. Okay, I want to redo that one. Without breaking the charm of the original game. I had a weird pause there because of the line breaking. Okay. Without breaking the charm of the original game, it adds so much more flavor, content, and challenge so you never run out of ways to play it. Especially with the ongoing PC mods. Okay. Especially with the ongoing PC mods of randomizers. What makes this game stand out for me is how you have to respect every enemy. Instead of hordes of zombies that you dispatch off quickly for mindless fun, each zombie feels boy, wake up. Each zombie feels like a careful dance of room, space, and resources. The claustrophobic nature of the mansion gives the enemies a huge advantage over you, allowing the zombies to evolve into the faster and stronger Crimson Heads by leaving them on the ground for too long will force you to plan ahead and determine if it's worth the resources and time to dispose of them. This game will most likely stand as the Resident Evil game for me, since the series will probably never return to its classic tank-like gameplay. I believe that most people misunderstand that limiting the total control over your character makes the gameplay more strategic and easier for the developers to design perfect encounters in every room. I kind of also want to add OG. I want to add something for this text. The fixed camera angles is also a very important thing as to why I love this game so much. Dispose of them. So let's make a new sentence here and say no, wait. I want to add the sentence after this one because I'm talking about the classic tank-like gameplay. And there I want to make a new sentence. How do I continue on with that? Since the series will probably never return to its classic tank-like gameplay. The fixed camera angles, something along the lines of that. Every room. I can just continue from here, actually, where I'm talking about the room. The fixed camera angles really add to... Let's see here. The fixed camera angles makes every room... I hate the bad guy, but I have to clock into work in 5 minutes. Have a good rest of your afternoon. Glad to have you back, man. Thank you so much, Opus. You're the man. Fucking love you. Thank you for the support and helping me out with this text. And I hopefully will see you soon. Have a good time at work. So, let's see here. The fixed camera angles makes every room feel... No, it makes every room special, because that's what they do. The fixed camera angles makes every room special. And wouldn't be possible without the tank controls. There we go. Makes every room special. Every room special and like what I want to say, like every enemy, or like when you can't see the enemies because of the camera angles. Yeah, okay. And not being able to makes every room special. It sounds stupid, you know? Not being able to see in front of you is something good. But it is, for me. Makes every room special, and not being able to see in front of you. Not being able to see in front of you adds to the tension and like uncertainty of each room. Tension and also makes every room special. Not being able to see in front of you adds to the tension. Adds to the tension. But it sounds like I'm saying detention, you know? Not being able to see in front of you. All the time. Let's say that. Not being able to see in front of you all the time. Maybe I can add it before. Yeah, maybe. I need some fucking air. Okay. And adds to the tension of not being able to see in front of you all the time. So I believe this one is pretty good. The fixed camera angles makes every room special and adds to the tension of not being able to see in front of you all the time. It may sound weird, but hopefully I get my point across. Alright then. Let's record the rest of this. Let's see. Design perfect encounters in every room. The fixed camera angles makes every room special and adds to the tension of not being able to see in front of you all the time. The fixed camera angles makes every room special and adds to the tension of not being able to see in front of you all the time. So yeah, it came out pretty stale, but hey, at least people understand. So this is number 4. Fuck yes. Okay, Super Metroid doesn't have that much text, so that's nice. Yeah, Lakota, I'm enjoying that you're enjoying the stream, I guess you could say. But yeah, I'm thankful that you're here. And everybody else. Let's see here. Super Metroid, released in 1994 for the Super SNES. Considered by many to be the holy grail of video games. I definitely have to agree with that. When most people think about games, they think of the gameplay firsthand. And this is a perfect example of where the entire game is built around the perfectly designed movement of Samus Aran. There's a little bit too much game, I think. Considered by many to be the holy grail of video games. When most people think about games, they think about the gameplay. So yeah, there's a lot of... I need to minimize that word. Of where everything... We can say that. And this is a perfect example of where everything is built around the perfectly designed movement of Samus Aran. Yeah, that's good enough. The soundtrack is also beautifully crafted for each area. This game has one of my all-time favorite moments. That's a very short, like one sentence for the soundtrack, and then we're moving on. Soundtrack is also beautifully crafted for each area. The game has one of my all-time favorite moments, and without spoiling too much, it takes place during the last boss. And without, I don't even need to say too much of where everything is built around the perfect. Okay. It's also beautifully crafted for each area. This game has one of my all-time favorite moments, and without spoiling, it takes place during the last boss. But that's another thing. This entire list is supposed to be spoiler-free. So I can't talk about any details for the most part. I want this list to introduce people to the games I like, you know? After beating the game countless times, I found even more replayability with various randomizers. The speedrun community is still active, and since the game's release, I don't even need to say 94, because I already said that. There we go. The speedrun community is still active, and world records are still being made. Here we go, I say still too many times. Is still active, and world records are being made, and new categories are appearing as well. Might be a weird sentence, but that's all I need to say about it, I think. definitely agree with that. When most people think about games, they think about the gameplay firsthand. And this is a perfect example of where everything is built around a perfectly designed... Okay, so this is also weird. Because I say example. This is a perfect example of where everything is built around Samus. So that doesn't go well. Where everything is built around the perfectly designed movement of the character. I guess I can say that instead. Makes it, make a little bit more sense. All-time favorite moments, and without spoiling, takes place during the last boss. After beating the game countless times, I found even more replayability with various randomizers. The speedrun community is still active, and world records are being made. Or taken, I can say that. It's still active, and world records are being taken. And new categories are appearing as well. The speedrun community is still active, world records are being taken, and new categories are appearing as well. Or being taken. Do you say that? World records are being taken. Shit, my mind, I can't think straight. Speedrun community is still active. World records are okay. Yeah, I'll have to think about this. How are we supposed to do this? Like, how to phrase it. Yeah, we can record it as it is, I think. Considered by many to be the holy grail of video games, I definitely agree with that. When most people think about games, they think of the gameplay firsthand, and this is a perfect example of where everything is built around the perfectly designed movement of the character. But now I say perfect 2 times. Perfect example, perfect design. Let's say, and this is a prime, a prime example of where everything is built around the perfectly designed movement of the character. Of your character. No. Of a character. The soundtrack is also beautifully crafted for each area, and this game has one of my all-time favorite moments, and without spoiling, it takes place during the last boss fight. After beating the game countless times, I found even more replayability with various randomizers. The fuck? Okay, let's record this one. We'll have to turn off the fan first. Super Metroid. Let's go. Super Metroid, released in 1994 for the Super Nintendo. Considered by many to be the holy grail of video games, I definitely have to agree with that. When most people think about games, they think of the gameplay firsthand, and this is a prime example of where everything is built around the perfectly designed movement of the character. The soundtrack is also beautifully crafted for each area, and this game has one of my all-time favorite moments, and without spoiling, it takes place during the last boss fight. After beating the game countless times, I found even more replayability with various randomizers. The speedrun community is still active, world records are being taken, and new categories are appearing as well. Good enough. Number 3 is done, boys. We're almost done with this sheet. Holy shit, what did I do?
そんなこと聞かないでくださいよ。
江口です。
Fuck?
周りの人からは
No. Okay, number 2. Shadow of the Colossus. One of the few games I see as a work of art, more than just a video game. A beautifully mysterious game that gives more questions than answers. Fuck yeah. Does that work? That gives more questions than answers. Gives. That asks more? No. That gives more questions than answers. I believe. That presents more questions. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, my man. You're a 5-head Englishman. That presents more questions than answers. It throws you into this huge, peaceful, and open world for you to freely explore, but you quickly find how empty it is. No one has lived here for a very long time. It has become a forbidden land. After playing a lot of games where you mindlessly defeat enemies wherever you go, it's a breath of fresh air to visit this world and lose yourself in it. Similar to Undertale, my favorite thing about the story and characters is that it's never clear who the good or bad guy is. The original PS2 release hasn't aged well for today's standards. So it's wonderful that Bluepoint gave this game the boost it deserves, which greatly enhanced the immersion. Here's hoping for an eventual PC release to further enhance the game for the future. So I believe this is good enough, because I don't want to talk about any, story details or characters. It's gonna be as spoiler-free as it can be. So yeah, we'll record this as it is. One of the few games I see as a work of art more than just a video game. A beautiful, mysterious game that has... instead of I say right here that I see it as a work of art more than just a video game, and then I say a beautiful, mysterious game. Maybe I should change it to experience. A beautifully mysterious experience that presents more questions than answers, because I'm not seeing it as just a game, So this works pretty fine. But you quickly find out how empty it is. No one has lived here for a very long time. It has become a forbidden land. After playing a lot of games where you mindlessly defeat enemies wherever you go, it's a breath of fresh air to visit this world and lose yourself in its. Yeah, okay. Story and characters is that it's never clear who the good or bad guy is. The original PS2 release hasn't aged well for today's standards, so it's wonderful that Bluepoint gave this game the boost it deserves, which greatly enhanced the immersion. Here's hoping for an eventual PC release to further enhance the game for the future. Very good. Very good, Krims. Let's do this. We're almost done, actually. Shadow of the Colossus, released in 2005 for the PlayStation 2. One of the few games I see as a work of art, more than just a video game. A beautifully mysterious experience that presents more questions than answers. It throws you into this huge, peaceful, and open world for you to freely explore, but you quickly find out how empty it is. No one has lived here for a very long time. It has become a forbidden land. After playing a lot of games where you mindlessly defeat enemies wherever you go, it's a breath of fresh air to visit this world and lose yourself in it. Similar to Undertale, my favorite thing about the story and characters is that it's never clear who the good or bad guy is. The original PS2 release hasn't aged well for today's standards, so it's wonderful that Bluepoint gave this game the boost it deserves, which greatly enhanced the immersion. Here's hoping for an eventual PC release. Here's hoping for an eventual PC release to further enhance the game for the future. Here's hoping for an eventual PC release to further enhance the game for the future. Yeah, boy. Only one more to go. Holy shit, and then this fucking shit stream is over. But then, it's also the longest text. Look at this shit. Woo! I'm the legend! The Legend 27. Silent Hill 2, released in 2001 for the PlayStation 2. It isn't just my favorite game of all time, it's also my favorite thing across all types of media, be it movies, series, music albums, or even art. Nothing has ever affected me on a deep level as much as this work of art. How can I explain what makes this game so special without spoiling it? The characters are geniusly written, so you know just enough what they want and are going through, but leaves a lot of room for interpretation. Some people say the acting is bad because the actors don't do this for a living. I believe that's what makes the characters so special, because they aren't your typical Hollywood actors. They are human. They are not perfect. We all sometimes regret things we say and how we say them. Even the way the characters look have been designed to avoid artificial perfection. Everyone has their own flaws about them, but that's, again, what makes us human. Some say the gameplay and combat is stiff and slow. I say that not every character is a highly trained killing machine. Some don't know how to fight properly, or wants to fight at all. I think this adds to how believable the character is, and a way for the game to say that this character isn't you, it's James. And he has its own fair share of strengths and weaknesses. Whew, the music really adds to that determination. Where am I? Some don't know how to fight properly, won't fight all. It's James or... There we go. The game has multiple endings, but never makes it obvious how to obtain them. It doesn't just come down to a simple choice between A, B, and C. Instead, it silently gets decided during the entire course of the game, depending on how you play it. If you act recklessly and don't give a shit about James's health and put him through mental hardships, then you'll get a certain ending. On the other hand, if you take good care of James and wants the best for him, you'll get an ending for that. It all goes much deeper than this, but I can't say too much without spoiling. This fucking music, man. Yeah. If anyone claims I read too much into this game, I can quote the developers. And then I have that video, so I have to record that as well. So you can play this game like a typical horror game where you search for your wife while killing monsters on the way. Or you can try to find out the true meaning behind this twisted world as they intended. The sound design is truly remarkable. The attention to detail can be seen everywhere. Let's see, we'll place... And the attention to detail can be seen everywhere. The music is amazing as well. The main theme was written in just 3 days and remains one of my favorite pieces of music. The background music has a haunting contrast between sadness and insanity. Most horror games rely on superficial ways to scare its audience, like jump scares or enemies running at you screaming. Psychological horror, like Silent Hill 2, uses the atmosphere, mood, and tension to deliver its horror. Unawareness of what's making you scared is far worse than understanding it. A lot of horror games and movies spend too much time and focus on what the danger is, to the point where you know everything about it. Then it's not scary anymore. The next time you play or see it, why would you be scared? You already know everything. For example, wouldn't vampires be much more frightening if you didn't know about its 10,000 weaknesses? In closing, Silent Hill 2 is a masterpiece. It doesn't even have or need a drop of nostalgia for it to be my favorite game of all time. Thank you for watching. There we go, it's recorded. Why didn't I record? Fuck. That actually worked. But yeah, I like this text. It's really nice. I want to divide it up a little bit so I don't confuse myself. When I talk about the gameplay, that can be its own section. Stiff and slow, blah blah blah. Endings. Ending for that. It all goes much deeper than... We can make a pause there. It all goes much deeper than this, but I can't say too much without spoiling it. Everyone can... Blah 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 blah. Music is amazing. We'll make a pause there as well when we talk about the horror. Oh, my back is killing me. Piece of fuck. Fuck. Like jump scares or enemies running at you screaming. Psychological horror like Silent Hill 2, blah 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 blah. We're done. Let's read this bitch. Off with the fucking fan. No music, no shit. That's how I like it. Silent Hill 2. It isn't just my favorite game of all time. It's also my favorite thing across all types of media. Well, that's a fucking bold statement. But yeah, I guess it's true. Because I can't think of anything I like more. No. Yeah, Silent Hill 2 even saves lives. So how the fuck can you top that shit? So, I'll go ahead and record this now. I can record each section as its own recording. So we don't have to keep too many things in mind as we record. So let's begin. Just need some water. I hope you guys aren't forgetting to hydrate. Or else Mr. Crimson will be very disappointed. Silent Hill 2, released in 2001 for the PlayStation 2. It isn't just my favorite game of all time. It's also my favorite thing across all types of media, be it movies, series, music albums, or even art. Nothing has ever affected me on a deep level as much as this work of art. How can I explain what makes this game so special to me without spoiling it? The characters are geniusly written, so you know just enough what they want and are going through, but leaves a lot of room for interpretation. Some people say the acting is bad, because the actors don't do this for a living. I believe that's what makes the characters so special, because they aren't your typical Hollywood actors. They are human, they're not perfect. We all sometimes regret things we say and how we say them. Even the way the characters look have been designed to avoid artificial perfection. Everyone has their own flaws about them, but that's again what makes us human. Oh. Yeah, good. Part 1 done. So, 1A. Nice. I sound so defensive in this text. Like, oh, people say the acting is bad. Oh, people say the gameplay is bad. Oh, people say that I look too much into it. So I sound very defending. But maybe that's how I want it to be. Because that's what I feel, right? That's what I've heard when people talk about this game. Okay. Some say that the gameplay and combat is stiff and slow. I say that not every character is a highly trained killing machine. Some don't know how to fight properly or wants to fight at all. I think this adds to how believable the character is, and a way for the game. I think this adds to how believable the character is, and a way for the game to say that this character isn't you, it's James, and he has his own fair share of strengths and weaknesses. Well, that came out weird. And he has his own fair share of strengths and weaknesses. The game has multiple endings, but never makes it obvious how to obtain them. It doesn't just come down to a simple choice between A, B, and C. It silently gets decided during the entire course of the game, depending on how you play it. If you act recklessly and don't give a shit about James's health and put him through mental hardships, then you'll get a certain ending. On the other hand, if you take good care of James and wants the best for him, you'll get an ending for that. Woo! 1B. Pun intended, actually. It all goes much deeper than this, but I can't say too much without spoiling. God damn, you sound so... something. Okay. Do it like that. With that voice. How about no? This is super serious, man. You don't fuck around with this game. It all goes much deeper than this, but I can't say too much without spoiling it. If anyone claims that I read too much into this game, I can quote the developers. Quote here. So you can play this game like a typical horror game, where you search for your wife while killing monsters on the way. Or you can try to find the true meaning behind this twisted world, as they intended. The sound design is truly remarkable, and the attention to detail can be seen everywhere. The music is The music is amazing as well. The main theme was written in just 3 days and remains one of my favorite pieces of music. The background music has a haunting contrast between sadness and insanity. The fuck Nimn? Who is Nimn? 1C. Who? Most horror games rely on the superficial ways to scare its audience, like jump scares and enemies running at you screaming. Master Wayne. Psychological horror, like Silent Hill 2, uses the atmosphere, mood, and tension to deliver its horror. Unawareness of the size of your dick. Let's record. Most horror. Okay. I can't do that with a straight face. Oh. Okay. Serious mode. Most horror games rely on superficial ways to scare its audience. Like jump scares. And fuck! I can't get that voice out of my head. I'm so close to being done with this shit. I don't want to have a giggle fit now. It made you cry. Yeah, I hope so. Most horror games rely on superficial ways to scare its audience, like jump scares or enemies running at you screaming. Psychological horror, like Silent Hill 2, uses the atmosphere, mood, and tension to deliver its horror. Unawareness of what's making you scared is far worse than understanding it. A lot of horror games and movies spend too much time and focus on what the danger is, to the point where you know everything about it. Then it's not scary anymore. The next time you play or see it, why would you be scared? You already know everything. For example, wouldn't vampires be much more frightening if you didn't know about its 10,000 weaknesses? In closing, Silent Hill 2 is a masterpiece and doesn't even have or need a drop of nostalgia for it to be my favorite game of all time. Thank you for watching. Wow! Way to go, Crims! You're gonna get like 5 views on this video. Well done. Yeah, what can I say? I try my best. But yeah, I'm happy that I got everything, mostly everything, in one take. So here we go. Here it is. Everything is recorded, and it is only 369 megabytes and 20. So the video will be around 20 minutes long, which is really fitting. You know, top 20 for the year 2020, and the video is 20 minutes long. So yeah, it works. Okay, so the next step is to get all of these into video editing, and then get video footage for every single game. And I don't know how to do this because I'm not filming myself in this video. You only hear me. But it is still a video, right? So I need some visuals. And I need visuals of every single game. So I can do this in a very cheap way. I can go to YouTube and search for like Mario 64 trailer or like gameplay, you know. You search on that, take the video off YouTube, copy and paste it, and we're done. And so I have a little bit of compressed, shitty-ass gameplay with my voice over it. That would be the easy way to do this. Or I can do it the man's way and record everything here on my own. You know, my recordings. It's me playing. But that may be a bit difficult. That will take some time. But I can do it while streaming, you know? It can be like the next stream, everybody! I'll go ahead and play a little bit of all of these games and record them. I mean, why not? But right now, I need a fucking break after all that shit. I need to stretch and take a walk. But we are done with this for now. It went pretty well, in my opinion. Even though I only streamed half of it. Gigaret. Cigarette? No. Oh, wait, before we're done, holy shit, I didn't quote the developers. This one right there. So what we need to do now is to go to videos, DVD rip, Silent Hill 2 making of, and then somewhere around here, there is like a text from the developers with a quote that I want to add. So it's definitely not that one. Hello? Hello? The fuck is this shit? Nope. VLC. No, not that one. This one. Here we go. The existence of fog and darkness in the reality world is an important element in creating fear. What I mean about strangeness is unexplained occurrences that can happen on and off without any real reason. Examples within the game would be the existence of red square, how you get the handgun, traffic lights are being turned on in the town, wandering monsters in the real world, buildings of unrealistic structure, though they seem realistic on the surface. Please pay attention to the strangeness which we have tried to integrate. Which we have tried to integrate into the game. It adds a different quality to the oppressive fear already prevalent. So this quote is something I want to have. It's really fucking good. Yeah. Let's go ahead and record that shit. Ah, shit. All these quotes. Fucking stop it already. I was conscious of a certain strangeness that was present in the game and in our daily lives. What I mean by strangeness is unexplained occurrences that can happen on and off without any real reason. Examples within the game would be the existence of red square, the circumstances in which you get the handgun, traffic lights which are turned on in a certain blah blah. Yeah, we'll record this. I would like to comment on where I would like you to pay close attention to the game. The existence of fog and darkness, and the real and alternate world, is an important element in creating fear, just as in the previous title. However, for this title, I was conscious of a certain strangeness that was present in the game and in our daily lives. What I mean by strangeness is unexplained occurrences that can happen on and off with any real reason. Can we... Hello! You piece of shit video, let's go! Fucking VLC sucks major dicks. And this is being recorded. Let's see. Any real reason? Okay, so stop there. Any real reason? So take this all away and then fucking shut your dick, and we are gonna record the rest of this. Examples within the game would be the existence of red square, the circumstances in which you get the handgun, traffic lights which are turned on in a deserted town, wandering monsters in the real world, building of unrealistic structure, though they may seem realistic on surface, etc. Moreover, we incorporated these ideas of strangeness throughout the game. Please pay close holy shit. Please pay I can't say this. Please pay attention to the strangeness which we have tried to integrate into the game. It adds a different quality to the oppressive fear already prevalent. Yeah, so that's quote number 1. So let's see here. 1, quote 1. Boom. The next one, there is another one I want to have. Let's see if I can find it. Sexy Parodius. Okay. Parodius. Here we go. We designed the game in a way that the deeper you play, the more you can enjoy the atmosphere. There we go. In the human drama itself. We made this title attractive but also logical. We included a lot of research into local history and getting information from various classical pieces of literature to develop the overall background story for this title. We designed the game in a way that the deeper you play, the more you can enjoy the atmosphere. There we go. We designed the game in a way that the deeper you play, the more you can enjoy the atmosphere. Please look forward to exploring the game as much as possible. This is what the drama of Silent Hill 2 is about. It's not only grand, but also convincing in its depth. You see, this is going quite well. The music fits this emote. Yeah, it does. I forgot we had that emote. Here we go. This is the one. This is the fucking perfect boy. I want the consumer to not look at Silent Hill 2 on the surface. Rather, I want them to look at... I want them to look a little deeper. It's easy to say that this is a story with certain facts. I want the player to question, why did the creators do this or that? Or why did James or Maria react this way? This is a game where the questioning needs to be deeper to appreciate the real underlying story. Holy fuck! Yes! Thank you! They're saying exactly what I'm trying to express. My favorite lines are the ones uttered by blah blah. There we go. I want the consumer to not look at Silent Hill 2 on the surface. Rather, I want them to look a little deeper. It's easy to say that this is a story with certain facts. I want the player to question, why did the creators do this or that? Or why did James or Maria react this way? This is a game where the questioning needs to be deeper to appreciate the real underlying story. Oh yeah, boy! That's the quote I'm talking about! Particularly proud of the carefully worked out scenario. I don't think there is any other intense scenario like this in video games, goddamn. The dramatic interaction between the characters, Maria talking to Yale, that's my favorite scene as well. Close to the truth. You can feel the tension there and the unique strangeness we implemented, since the facial expression and mannerism are unique and quite Succinct? Succinct? Fuck off. Art director, what do you want to say? I would be eternally happy. Wow. Well, I guess that's all he needs. When you find her with the knife. Put the knife down, woman! Yeah, I agree. Let's see. I hope that the players enjoy the disgusting movements of the monsters. Also, I would like them to enjoy the photographic-like depictions, which looks as realistic as possible by taking full advantage of the PS2 hardware specifications. I really wanted the gamers to enjoy this peculiar worldview which we have created. If they can also be impressed with the realistic human depictions we have achieved, even if it points to the negative side of the human psyche, I would be eternally happy. So this quote, I'm not entirely sure if I need it. Maybe the last part. I really want the gamers to enjoy this peculiar worldview which we have created. If they can also be impressed with the realistic human depictions we achieved. I mean, sure. No, I already got my point across. My whole point was that if people claim that I look too deep into this game, then that's why I want to have that quote, because the game is designed that way. I'm not looking too deep into it. Maybe there is a point, of course. There is always a point where you're looking a little bit too deep into this. Like, let's say you take the total number of handgun bullets in the entire game and divide it by 2 because it's Silent Hill 2, and you get a certain number and blah 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 blah. I mean, that's looking way too deep into it. It's just insanity at that point. Alright then, let's save this one. Quote 1, quote 2. Save that shit, and there we go. We're done with all the voice recordings for this video. And with that, I would like you all to get the fuck out of here, because I need to take a walk. And then for the next stream, we're gonna go ahead and record some gameplay footage, I believe. Or I don't know. I'll have to think about this. But now I'm done with the voiceover, and I'm happy with that. So, yeah, the stream is basically over now. I'll see you guys later, hopefully. And with that, thank you so much. I love you. And yeah. Have a good one. See you later.